Happy September and welcome to my September monthly reset. Today I'll be sharing with you three things. First, we'll do a quick monthly review from August. The second thing I'm going to share with you September's 30-day challenge from the Day Designer planner that I bought. And then lastly, the video that I filmed regarding the 50 free printables that you can get from Day Designer, including things for meal planning, family planning, student success, all of the regular agenda like daily, weekly, and monthly, as well as the finance ones that I shared with you. Mainly this one is the inspiration that I want to share something with you today on things that I do for my budget where I have payments that I will make consistently but not necessarily monthly. So I want to show you the layout of this spreadsheet, which you can download for free. So I'll cover all of that today in our monthly reset. So first up is a monthly review, and I've already shared with you in previous monthly resets the outline that I use regarding what I'll look back on monthly. One thing they ask about personal wins. So in August when I look back, I had written down family time. That was something that I had a birthday in August and I wanted to make sure I was with my family then and outside of that day as well. So I feel like I had a personal win there. I wrote down, a fitness challenge. So what I did is I started a 6-week fitness challenge on a day that I knew the last workout would end on my birthday, and it went really well. I didn't miss any of the workouts in the 6 weeks, so I really liked that. That was a personal win. What did I write down? Visits from deer and fawn. Okay, so this one is, I don't know if anybody's like me. I love animals, but deer in particular, they're like magic. I absolutely love deer. Now, a few months ago, there's always actually pockets of them. There'll be a few that always travel together that I'll see, but a few months ago, there was one that I knew was obviously pregnant. And I told my son, I said, I cannot wait until she brings her babies back in the yard and she'll introduce them to me. There's that nice lady that lives in that big box in our backyard. And I went on and on about this. And he looked at me like I kind of lost my mind, but he was pretty good about it because he knows I love deer. And then sure enough, you guys, in August, because I have Ring cameras everywhere, I can kind of track them if they come in the middle of the night. But even during the day, several visits with mom and the baby, so I wrote that down as a personal win. I should put that under things I'm grateful for. But those are the things that kind of unfolded for me in August that I was really happy about. What I learned, there's a section here. I wrote down that I learned a lot about cats. So this is something where I'm interested maybe in getting a cat, which I've never owned a cat before. I'm totally a dog person, but I've even visited the shelter a few times, looked at some cats, so I'm kind of trying to learn more about them. See, goals that I met, cancer screenings. So I am someone who carries a gene mutation that leaves me at a higher risk for cancers, and a lot of my immediate family members have passed away. My mom and my brother, my father also had cancer, and so it's something that I really make sure that I'm good about this. And so what I do personally, and I share this to hopefully inspire any of you that should be doing some screenings as well, is every single year I always schedule those, and I've done this forever, in my birthday month. So I always make sure it's something I never forget, and I go, and then I wrote down in the grateful section that I'm grateful that everything came back good, so everything was good there. Boundaries was an impersonal goal that I met, both professionally and personally. I've been establishing boundaries and have had some success there. Ways that I took care of myself was movement, kind of that fitness challenge, and prioritizing sleep and being out in nature more. So that was good. Things that I was grateful for in August was that I had another birthday. I'm someone who's super grateful to be aging. I don't mind it at all, so I was grateful for that. I wrote down my boys, so my dog and my son. Health, I'm very, very grateful for my health. And I wrote down time with Rosa. Rosa is my Jeep Wrangler. Finally, we had a good month. It was a lot drier than it has been, so I was able to get out and enjoy time with Rosa is what I wrote down. There's a section here on this one for key purchases that I made, and I'm not really a big shopper, and I look back at it, but the only thing I really did buy in August that I was really happy about was I got a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace on a chair for my patio. So it's something where I just finally got a new updated area to sit in, and my dog and I out there all the time, and I enjoy working out there, and I got a nice chair to be able to do that. So what I want to share with you guys, in this particular planner, they have a section on this monthly review for things that you could improve on. And one thing I wanted to share that I didn't know if it could be something you guys relate to, but when I was looking back at the monthly review, I realized that I was really underestimating time that it took me to do certain things that were important to me. Personal goals that I had, for example, decluttering, but also work projects. There are some things that I absolutely know exactly how much time they'll take. But I have noticed, like I just mentioned, I've been underestimating the time it takes to do other projects. And my decluttering goal, maybe I'll have a certain area in my house and I want to tackle it, declutter but I only blocked out a certain amount of time and it took 3 times that amount of time. So I want to get better at that. So those are kind of my monthly look back. And now on to the 30-day challenge for September. If you are new here and you're not sure what I'm talking about, Day Designer has this particular planner that is called the 2024 30-day challenge planner. And I really hope they do one like I mentioned for 2025. But let me show you inside here. So every month they issue a challenge, a 30-day challenge for that particular month. And for September, you guys, what it is, if you want to do this with me, is to create kind of a safe haven in your home. So they talked about September being a month where maybe now activities that you're doing are more indoors, maybe there'll be more meals you're sharing together, maybe the holiday season's coming up and things like that. So the 30-day challenge for September is to create kind of a safe haven in your home. Now in the planner, they also give ideas of how you can do each challenge. So I'll share that quick with you here. So September, they had a really basic one in the beginning, just kind of making your bed and doing the dishes daily, doing some kind of daily tidying to enjoy your home. The second was to purchase live plants and learn how to care for them. I'm going to do that one, and I'm really hoping someone watching this is a plant person that might be able to help me, because I want to show you something. I have this plant, and I'm not even sure what kind of plant this is. I'm not sure how to even get it in the camera. Maybe I can put some photos of it here as well. But when my mom passed away, which was a while ago, over 10 years ago, my godfather had a peace lily that he wanted me to take home. And I have oh my gosh, no green thumbs whatsoever. I was really resistant, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. So I'm proud to say I still do have that peace lily. But a little over a year ago when my father passed away, a bunch of my family members sent plants, which I wish they would have sent food, but they sent plants. And I will admit that for the first month or so, I had all these live plants all over my living room, and I really did like it. I can totally see where people would become, or already are, a plant person. But one of those plants, you guys, brought in fungus gnats, and it just consumed my whole living room. I could not get rid of those things. I tried everything I read online. The neem oil, hydrogen peroxide, the mosquito bit soak. I replanted a bunch of them. I have like sticky traps all over for the adult ones. It was really miserable, and it attacked my mom's peace lily too. So I was able to replant that a bunch of times. Finally now it's half the size it used to be, but it is still alive. But this one here, I'm wondering, anyone that can help me? This is going to be my goal for the September challenge. I'm super excited because the one thing is, this got in some really sorry shape, and it has some brittle leaves on it, kind of the ends. And again, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see that. I didn't even know what to do with it. So I was afraid to bring more soil into my home because I just couldn't get rid of these fungus gnats. But you guys, I'm super excited. So after months of in this vase, really is all it is, I tied it to a straw. There's all these new leaves, and I'm super excited about this, but I'm not sure what to do with this. I don't know, can I keep it in this thing that's just vase and water? Now that it has some roots here that look healthy and new leaves, is it really important that I plant it in soil? I'm not sure. So I thought I would use this as an opportunity. Anyone that might know what this thing is and what I should do, or if I can keep it in water and just leave it, that's what I want to do because I don't have to worry about fungus gnats. But I will do what you guys tell me is the best thing to do, because I really would love to have that one from my father's funeral. And then I'll have those 2 plants that hopefully I can keep alive. But anyway, back to the challenge, the 30-day challenge. That was one option, or one idea, is to have live plants and learn to care for them. Painting a new room, or a new color, I should say. Painting a room a new color. Refreshing your towels and bedding. The last one I'm also going to do, this has been a goal for me forever, and it is purging your house, so decluttering and selling any unused items. So, you know, I'll just give you a screenshot maybe if you're interested in this 30-day challenge plan. I've really been liking that. I know a lot of you are doing these each month with me. So that is the 30-day challenge for September. Now moving over into the finance section and the budgeting. There's a couple different goals I have here to share with you for this reset. Because especially this time of year, it might be something where you are resetting for the rest of the year, maybe forecasting out for 2025. But this spreadsheet, you guys, that I mentioned, you can download for free on Day Designer's website. I'm going to share with you a link to this specific spreadsheet. I'll also share a link to the video that I mentioned, all of the different free printables that you can get. So if you're a student, they have a specific printable for that. If you're doing family planning, meal prepping, a fall bucket list, which might be a fun one to do, a TBR, books that you want to read, maybe shows that you want to watch. They have just so many really neat printables. So I'll link to that video. But also, now that we're on the budgeting and finance portion of the monthly reset, I'm going to link to, I think it was my March monthly reset, where I talked all things finances. And I showed you my electronic budget, favorite books that I like to read regarding finances, the experts that I follow, just a ton of resources regarding finances. But here's why I wanted to share this particular process that I do for things that I pay regularly, but they're not monthly. They're not like rent or mortgage or cable utilities or groceries or things like that. They're things that I would pay on a frequency of either quarterly or yearly. And why I thought about that was this spreadsheet that you can download for free from Day Designer is broken up where the top portion here is for your monthly and the middle portion here is for what you might pay quarterly, and then the last one down here is annually. So I wanted to share with you guys where I actually house my money, and the reason why is because where I pay things out of things that I pay quarterly or yearly is different than where I'll keep my money from the things that I pay monthly. So what I mean by that is that my local bank, I have 4 different accounts there because I am self-employed. I'm not sure if I mentioned that if you're new to me. I've owned my own business for over 25 years. And what I do is I have a business checking account and a business savings account at my local branch here. So a brick and mortar place, I can go in and out. I love the manager there. I love all the people that work there. I also have my personal checking and personal savings account there. So I have those accounts there. But in my brokerage account, which I've had for decades, that's where I have my retirement accounts. I have 2 other accounts there as well. There is a money market account that I have there, but I treat it as a savings account. And then I have another investment account that I can do some trading, even just small things like I've taken advantage of the interest rates lately for treasury bills, things like that. But the main thing I wanted to share with you is that one specific account, that money market account, that I treat as a savings account, because what I do is this. I thought I wanted to share with you this, something that might be useful. Maybe you're kind of new to budgeting in this way. But I think it's super easy for us to look at our finances, whether it's a spreadsheet like this or that electronic one that I mentioned in my March reset, and be able to put down what we owe in rent, what our budget is for groceries. Like I have mine for pets or streaming services, all of those things that you'll have here. And the way this spreadsheet works is that you would put the day of the month that that payment is due, how much it is, and then if it's an automatic withdrawal. And then what I love about this is you'll see the whole year in a shot. So you'll have every single month in the columns over here. Now for me on this sheet, if you see the letter V that stands for variable, it's something that won't be the same every month. So the 2 big things, you guys, that I pay quarterly, so every 3 months, is my disability insurance. Again, I'm self-employed, so I pay that myself. So every 3 months I pay that, and what's called my estimated quarterly taxes. So every single time I invoice a client and I get my payment, immediately I will take out my self-employment tax that I'm going to owe on that, my state tax that I'm going to owe on that, as well as my federal. And what I do, you guys, is I move that over into that savings account that I just mentioned that's separate from my regular banking in my neighborhood. And I can easily transfer them back and forth. It takes only 1 to 3 business days for that. But you guys, what I do, and I didn't know if this was helpful, but I wanted to share, is so for example, I have here on the spreadsheet my estimated quarterly taxes. Over here, I will simply put an X in whatever month they are due. So I'm never surprised. I'm always planned. I always know. I think where you guys, if you're not self-employed or have a lot of quarterly payments, because they're not that common for me either, I think this bottom section might be super helpful if you're like me and that there are numerous things that you pay for 1 year at a time. For me, anything over $100, I will always divide whatever that payment is by 12, and every single month I will move that over to that savings account. So for example, Amazon Prime. I know here on my spreadsheet that is always due in March. So I just simply put an X in whatever month of the year that's due. So every March I know I'm going to have to pay this $120. In fact, I think it's probably $150, but we're just going to use $120. And I know that I have that money because every month I simply have divide that by 12, and $10 a month I have moved over into that savings account. Now something smaller like $120 a year is pretty manageable. Like I said, my cutoff is $100. But the thing is, what if you had a few of those annual subscriptions or things like that that all came due in the same month? You know, that can add up pretty fast. But also what I have on here, the biggest ticket item for me is my property taxes. So that's thousands of dollars that I have to pay twice a year. Every fall and every spring I have those due. What I do then is same kind of thing. So let's say your property taxes are $3,600 a year. You would divide that by 12, and so that every month you would move over, like I have here, you would move over $300 into that separate savings account so that you are never caught off guard when that property tax bill would be due. You've already got that money you've been setting aside every month in that savings account. The other examples that I have here for my web hosting, so my website, I know every August $300 is going to be due for that. So what I have here is $25 a month. I simply move that over to my savings account. So what you would do, you guys, you simply would just total up. If you have a list of the things that you pay annually, you would simply total that up at the bottom where you've divided each one of those by 12, and then every month you would move that over to that savings account. So what I want to do here is I'll just move the camera so that you can see the spreadsheet up close and see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So I'll kind of work our way through that, and then we'll wrap everything up for this month. So here is the monthly bills that I mentioned. You can make a list here, the date each month that they're due, what the amount is. Again, for me, V stands for variable because it's different. So the automatic would be something taken maybe directly out of your checking account. These are not my numbers, by the way. I just put them in there for examples. But this is what I do, where every single month, these items here, I put on my credit card, and then I pay off my credit card every month. But then you can see, you could list all of those every month, what you ended up spending. Here's where you would list your quarterly bills. Here's the amount here. Here's why I love this, that you could just look at, especially your annual bills like down here. You could look to see what month is your Amazon Prime due, or property taxes. What months do you pay those, or whatever your annual things might be. And this is where I mentioned I take the total amount and then I divide it by 12 so that I know each month this is what I'm going to be setting aside in this column here in that separate savings account. So there you have it. That is the September monthly reset. I am excited for fall. However, I am a summer girl, so I'm going to be soaking in every last minute we have for summer. But I wish you a wonderful September, and I will see you next time.